thanks for all the fish. So sad that it should come to this. We tried to warn you all, but oh dear.
Imagine waking up late. You feel all good. You come downstairs to have your tea. You look outside and you see a bunch of men and bulldozers. You rush outside to find out what's going on. Then you were told that your house is in the way of a bypass, and the plan has been in the city council for months, and that if you had any issues with that, you should have filed a complaint with the council. At that point, you do what any sane person would do, that is to lie down in front of the bulldozer, hoping it's not gonna run you over. Your friend comes over and drags you to the nearby pub. Though it's only lunchtime, the pub seems to be awfully full. Regardless, he buys drinks for everyone and chugs down a couple of pints himself. So, what's going on? You hear a booming voice.
People of Earth, this is Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz of the Galactic Hyperspace Planning Council. As you are probably aware, plans for the development of the outlying regions of the galaxy involve the building of a hyperspace express route through your star system. And your planet is one of those scheduled for demolition. There's no point acting all surprised about it. The plans and demolition orders have been on display at a local planning office in Alpha Centauri for 50 of your Earth years. If you can't be bothered to take an interest in local affairs, that's your own account. A pathetic bloody planet. Of no sympathy at all. Rises in the
Your friend saves you from this destruction by hitching a ride. The only thing you know that to survive in this galaxy, you need two things. The first one is a clean towel. And the second? Well, it's a guide. It's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's an amazing book. Wait a minute. Some of you eagle-eyed viewer might have noticed this strangely placed A. That's an odd thing. Why is that? Well, although it's a complete story on its own, it's still a part of a trilogy, which happens to come in 5 parts. We have The Hitchhiker's Guide, followed by The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. Next, Life, the Universe and Everything. So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. And finally, Mostly Harmless. The books also happen to spell out Adams. Now that is cool. The first book was adapted from the first 4 radio episodes, The Primary Phase, with Arthur being rescued from Earth's destruction by Ford, meeting Zaphoid and Trillian, coming to the planet of Magrathea to discover the true purpose of Earth, and ending with the group preparing to go to the restaurant at the end of the universe. It was first published in 1979. In The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, published in 1980, Zaphoid is separated from the others and finds he is part of a conspiracy to uncover who really runs the universe. In Life, the Universe and Everything, published in 1982, Ford and Arthur travel through the space-time continuum from prehistoric Earth to Lord's Cricket Ground. This was the first Hitchhiker's book originally written as a book and not adapted from radio. Its story was based on a treatment Adams had written for a Doctor Who theatrical release. In So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, published in 1984, Arthur returns home to Earth, rather surprisingly since it was destroyed when he left. I will not spoil it anymore. Let's just ponder on how that could have happened. Finally, in Mostly Harmless, published in 1999, Vogons take over the Hitchhiker's Guide to finish, once and for all, the task of obliterating the Earth. There is another part to this series. In September 2008, Ian Colfer, author of Artemis Fowl, had been commissioned to write the 6th installment entitled And Another Thing, with the support of Jane Belson, Adam's widow. The book was published by Penguin Books in the UK in October 2009. But being an old school, I cannot possibly include that in the original trilogy. Finally, 2 fun facts. On the first book, we come across this question: what is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? And if you don't already know, the answer might surprise you. In fact, why don't you type that in a Google search and see what it returns? Next fact is, the first multilingual translation application was released by Yahoo back in 1997. As a nod to the book, this service was called Babelfish, a fictional species that could instantly translate languages. In turn, the name of this fictional creature refers to the biblical account of the confusion of languages that arose in the city of Babel. To wrap it all up, this trilogy has to be the funniest science fiction I've ever read. There have been a British TV series back in 1981. Obviously, most of us might remember the Trainwreck movie in 2005. Personally, I felt it didn't do the source material justice. Hulu has announced a new series that is set to premiere in 2021. I'll keep my fingers crossed, though deep in my heart I know nothing can come to the actual writing. You should go and get it now. I mean, right now. Go on, go!